So today we are going to discuss about the cancer. Cancer basically it is a neoplasia, that means the new growth of a cell. Like neoplasm, that's the tumor or the cancer, that's the new growth that leads to the tumor or the cancer. Basically, cancer means it's actually the uncontrolled proliferation of cells which are different from which have got a different varieties of cells compared to that of their precursors. That is, they express varying degrees of fidelity to their precursors. That is basically cancer. Okay, so in cancer again there are two types, that is the benign type and the malignant type. Basically the benign type, in which there will be the cells grow as a compact mass and then they remain at their site of origin itself. They will not be spread to other tissues or the organs. Whereas the malignant tumors, the growth of these cells is uncontrolled, and these cells can spread into surrounding tissues and spread to distant sites as well. That is malignant. So the benign one they confine to the origin itself, whereas the malignant one they spread to other tissues and the distant sites as well. That is what the basic thing about the cancer. Okay, so now coming to the classification of cancer, that is as we discussed before, that is, one is the major classification is either they are benign or else they are malignant. Usually the benign tumors, these benign tumors always end with the suffix oma. Just remember that the benign one usually end with the suffix oma. So the classification goes like this, that the origin where they are originating, okay, origin cell plus morphological character plus you just have to add oma to that particular thing. Okay, so by adding oma, for example, if it is originating in a squamous epithelium, that is epithelioma. Okay, just you're adding oma to the cell origin and morphological character, that becomes the benign tumors. Okay, so usually tumors which arise from glandular glands, they'll be usually called as the adenomas. Adenoma you're adding, colon or endocrine glands, that you're adding adenoma to that. And some of these examples are lipoma, fibroma, chondroma, osteoma, that's in the bone, like papilloma. All these are the benign tumor classifications. Okay, then we'll just see in malignant tumors. Okay, the only suffix that you have to add is sarcoma if it is non-epithelial. This is the, if if a cancerous tissue is mesenchymal tissue, that is non-epithelial tissue, you just have to add sarcoma to that. And if it is an epithelial tissue which is undergoing the different proliferation, then that is carcinoma. Okay, so here the nomenclature goes like this, that the name of the origin, morphological character, either you have to add carcinoma or sarcoma as a suffix. So carcinoma you will be adding only to the epithelial cell origin, whereas sarcoma you will add non-epithelial or the mesenchymal tissue. Okay, that is of the malignant tumor classification. Like example, if the origin is stomach, as in a gastric adenocarcinoma you will call as, because you are adding carcinoma here, as this gastric or the stomach is, the tissues present there are the epithelial cell origin, epithelial tissues are present, that's why you are adding stomach, to that you are adding gastric adenocarcinoma or adenocarcinoma of the stomach. Okay, and then the other than benign and malignant, the other special nomenclature or the special classification, just different from both of them, that is blastoma, where you can see the tumors which usually arise in the immature tissues or the, like nervous tissue. Most of them are malignant. Blastomas are usually, oma is added here, it's an exception here. Okay, but oma usually we discussed earlier that it is usually added to the benign tumors only, but it's an exception, that's why it's called as a special nomenclature, in which usually the tumors which arise in the immature tissues like nervous tissue. So most of them are malignant here. So examples for that is medulloblastoma, retinoblastoma, and nephroblastoma. So some of these are the exception to those benign one. Okay, so we'll just see some other tumors attaching to suffix oma. So these are some of the tumors attaching suffix with oma we discussed, and some other like which are malignant. Okay, So the one which affect the liver, that is called as hepatoma, and the one for the skin is seminoma, and which affects the lymphoproliferative tumor, that's called as a lymphoma. That's also called as a Hodgkin's or the non-Hodgkin's cancers actually. So malignant proliferation of leukocytes is called as a leukemia. So this special nomenclature includes, like in the benign tumor, we studied that the suffix oma is attached to especially benign tumors only, whereas sarcoma and carcinoma are attached to malignant tumors. But these few examples what we are discussing here are the exception to that common tendency. That is like some blastoma, oma is added here, but these omas, that is medulloblastoma, and all these three are malignant ones, and some other malignant tumors which have got the suffix oma are these hepatoma and all these things. Okay. So other than those special nomenclature, some other to discuss in that category itself, some of the mixed tumors wherein which are derived from one germ layer which will undergo divergent differentiation, which will create different types of tumors. That's called as a mixed tumors of salivary glands. Okay. And then the other one in that category is teratomas, which here the tumors containing the mature or immature cells, that is teratomas. And then the final one is hematomas, which where there will be a tumor like malformation which is composed of a unorganized arrangement of tissues, okay, indigenous to the particular site, which is totally benign. Okay. So this hematoma, which is the last one, usually the benign one, here there will be a malformation composed of a unorganized arrangement of tissues. Okay. This is the nomenclature. So depending on the basic method how they are classified, usually the cancers, here the different classification with name, for the benign what you call it as, for malignant what you will be call it as. So epithelial tumors, so as we have already discussed, in benign you just have to add oma here, and in malignant, as it is a epithelial tumor, you just have to add the carcinoma everywhere. Okay. So these are the different types of cancers which are originating from the epithelial tissue. And then these are the non-epithelial tissue cancers, which are called as mesenchymal tumors. Okay. In mesenchymal, so for benign it is whether it is epithelial or non-epithelial, you just have to add oma here, whereas for the malignant one you have to add sarcoma instead of carcinoma. So if it is epithelial, you are adding carcinoma. So as it is a non-epithelial or the mesenchymal tumors, you are adding sarcoma here. So few of the examples are these. Okay, so the same thing is continued here. And example for mixed tumors that we already have seen, that is for the salivary glands, it is again adding oma here, and then it is in malignant, it's called as a malignant mixed salivary tumors. Okay, and some other tumors which of the more of germ cell layer only, that also we just saw, that is the totipotent cells in gonads or in embryonal rest, that's the mature teratoma or immature teratoma. This is the basic classification of the cancers. Now we'll see what causes these cancers. Basically, the 90% of the cancers are idiopathic actually. And to name some of the causes, there are some like chemicals, benzene and some other chemicals which cause the cancer, and maybe drinking excess of alcohol cause the hepatoma maybe. Okay. And then environmental toxins like some poisonous mushrooms and type of poison which will grow on the peanut plants, that's called as the aflatoxins. Okay. And then excessive sunlight exposure, that's the UV exposure, and some genetic mutation problem or inherited problems which may cause particular cancers. And then you have obesity and radiation, and some viruses may cause the cancer. Okay. So this is just a schematic representation of benign and malignant tumors, where it is a normal cell. Okay. In benign, it is confined to one particular region where the cancer cells are producing. So it is the normal one. These are the cancerous cells which are benign, and they will be within this cell itself. They will not be spread to other parts. Whereas in malignant, which is more fatal or the dangerous one, so this here it will be leaked out, or it will invade the surrounding, and it will enter into different tissues, and surrounding tissues it will invade, and it will infect even the distant parts, distant sites when it enters the blood circulation. Okay, this is how it looks. This is the normal cell, normal cellular tissues which we have. This is the basement membrane, and these are the cells. When it is infected, when the these cell becomes cancerous, they'll start proliferating, and they cause the dysplasia here. So the rapid growing these cells, it will start invading this cell membrane. Okay, so once the growth is uncontrolled, and one of the cells will invade this, which will it will break this cell membrane, and then it will invade, and then it detaches from this particular tissue, and then it spreads to other parts through the circulation. Okay, so these are some of the development of cancers where there should be a change in DNA mutation, and there should be a alteration in the cell. What the basic cell is altered by the growth and the behavior. It will not remain the same as the initial cell, and there will be it should be passed to the daughter cell as well, and then there will be a alteration in more than one genes. Okay, and then which special genes which are concerned to the process of this cancer is the one is the oncogenes, and the other one is the tumor suppressor genes. So these are the two important genes which control the process of this cell cycle of the cancer. That is oncogenes, which stimulate the extra growth or the proliferation of these cells, whereas the tumor suppressor genes are the one which will inhibit the proliferation of the cells. Okay, so some of the oncogenes are like CDKs and cyclins, and the tumor suppressor genes are the P53 genes. Okay, so and there should also be the gene alteration from normal to benign and malignant. So depending on whether the gene alteration is leading to benign or malignant, the cancers are formed, and then there should be an intrinsic and extrinsic inheritance environment which will affect this process of cancer. Okay, so this is the mode of metastasis, how the cancer cell is spread from that particular origin where it is originated. From there, how it is spreading to different paths. That is by direct extension of the surrounding. It will either directly extend it to the surrounding tissues, and the other one is through the blood vessels. The blood vessels further, which are divided as the capillary bed to different organs of our body. So through the capillary beds, it will invade into the liver, lungs, and bones. Okay, and also through the lymphatic system. So this is how the three processes the cancer cells are spreading to different tissues, surrounding tissues, and the distant tissues as well. Okay, so these are the initial few steps that are that usually takes place in the process of cancer. That is initially the normal cell. Okay, that is targeted by these viruses, hormones, chemicals, or genetic factors, whichever the things we have discussed now. Okay, so all these factors, they will target the cell. Okay, so that cell in the initial process, that's called as the initiation process, in that they will get altered and they form the cancer cells. So the getting infected by any of these positive organisms, the normal cell converting into the cancerous cell, that is the initiation process. And then that will be next forwarded as a promotion step, where there will be a excessive proliferation of the cancer cell takes place. That is the mitotic tissue organs, the whole area of the organ where they are where the cancer cell is formed. So the excessive proliferation takes place in that particular tissue or the organ. That's the promotion. And then the next step is progression, where where you can see the till the promotion period, the evidence of the or the symptoms are not seen. Okay, so in the progression period, you can see the evidence of clinical disease, and then that will be spread to regional spread or the metastasis. That is the next final stage, is that it will be spread regionally, and then through metastasis, that is it is spread to distant organs as well. That is three steps: initiation, promotion, and progression. Okay, so in a schematic representation, we'll just see how that happens. So this is the normal tissue. Okay, these are the normal cells. Okay, these are the normal cells, and this is a normal tissue wherein it is supplied with the blood vessels. Okay, so in cancer what basically happens is that one of the cell here will undergo the transformation, okay, into the cancer cell. It becomes a cancer cell because this cell is getting affected by the genetic alterations or the infection or else any environmental factors. All these causative agents may change this nature of this cell, which is normal. This will undergo the transformation to form the cancerous cell. So this becomes a dysplasia now, where there is a abnormal growth of the cells. Okay, it will be replaced by the abnormal cells. Okay, so usually this is characterized, this now is a cancerous cell. Now usually this cancerous cell is characterized by two things, that is the anaplasia and autonomy. Okay, this is actually the loss of differentiation and organization. And here it is independent from the normal cellular control. So the whatever this is there will be a loss of differentiation and organization. It is unorganized format. In the unorganized format they'll start forming. And the other thing is that they are not under the control of the cellular, whatever the cellular control is there, that is out of control, and they grow on their own. Okay, so that is what happens actually is in cancer cell, the normal cell here, if it is not infected with the cancer, if it is not transformed as a cancer cell, then the same type of cells are grown here, the same one. But if it is transformed into a cancer cell, then what happens is that it will start forming their own type of different cells. Okay, they will not be similar. Okay, variant cancer cells are formed here from the precursor. This is a precursor, from then it is a cancer cell. Even the cancer cell then furthermore divides into so many different varieties of cells. They will not be the same ones further. Okay, so now after that what happens, the next process is the neoplasia, that is the new cell growth takes place. This is one infected cancer cell, then furthermore it multiplies into new cell growths. Okay, so these are the new different types of cell growth. They will not be the same ones. One is like darker one, lighter one, irregular shape, irregular color, irregular functions they will have. That is the neoplasia, where there will be a new cellular growth will be there. Okay. Then once it is entered into the neoplasia, then the next step is invasive neoplasia. Once this excessive cells are formed here, they'll start breaking down this cellular membrane, and they'll invade that, and they'll start entering into the blood, and then from the blood they'll start affecting the different organs, distant organs as well. So the invasive neoplasia, in which this irregular cell growth will invade the cell membrane and enter into the blood circulation. Okay, so this particular process where they will the new growth or the new formed cells will get the blood, and then they invade the blood vessel and they enter. That's called as the angiogenesis. That is where these tumor cells which are formed newly they all need to be supplied by the nutrients to grow. Okay, they need the nutrients, so that nutrients they'll be getting from the blood. So that blood is formed because of the new blood vessels are formed here, that is the angiogenesis. So how does that angiogenesis takes place? Usually these tumor cells which are formed here, they will actually start releasing angiogenic factors. So some of the angiogenic factors which they release are um, VGGF, PDGF, and BFGF. So some of these angiogenic factors are released here. That so these released angiogenic factors have a affinity towards the receptors which are present on the blood vessels. This is the endothelial layer of the blood vessel, and this blood vessel has got a receptor which have a affinity to bind to these angiogenic factors, that is VGGF and PDGF and BFGF. Okay, so these are a few of the angiogenic factors which will bind to this. That's how the new blood vessel is formed here to supply the blood to these tumor cells. Okay, so once these new blood vessels are formed through this process, they'll start invading into the blood vessel here. Okay, so they'll start, these tumor cells gradually start invading the blood vessels, and once they enter the blood vessels here, what happens is that our body has got our own antibodies, like which will fight any foreign particles. So they will our body's blood, the cells which are present like leukocytes you can say, so all these cells will consider this tumor cell as the foreign body and they'll start destroying that. But the major problem what happens here is that the amount of cells, um, uh, immune cells which are present in our body will fall short, because the tumor cells entering the blood will be more. So because of the imbalance between these cells, immune cells and these foreign cells, that is the tumor cells, so the tumor cells will overpower them and they'll start distributing, or they'll start entering through the blood, they'll start entering into the different organs, and then they'll spread the cancer cells to different organs, distant organs as well. So this is the all about cancer.